Good day and welcome to the NetEase 2019 fourth quarter and fiscal year earnings conference call. Today's conference is being recorded. At this time, I would like to turn the conference over to Margaret Shi, IR Director of NetEase. Please go ahead.
Thank you, operator. Please note the discussion today will contain forward-looking statements relating to future performance of the company and are intended to qualify for safe harbor from liability as established by the U.S. Private Securities Litigation Reform Act. Such statements are not guarantees of future performance and are subject to certain risks and uncertainties, assumptions, and other factors. Some of these risks are beyond the company's control and could cause actual results to differ materially from those mentioned in today's press release and in this discussion. A general discussion of the risk factors that could affect NetEase's business and the financial results is included in certain filings of the company with the Securities and Exchange Commission, including its annual report on Form 20-F. The company does not undertake any obligation to update this forward-looking information except as required by law. During today's call, management will also discuss certain non-GAAP financial measures for comparison purposes only. For a definition of non-GAAP financial measures and the reconciliation of GAAP to non-GAAP financial results, please see the 2019 fourth quarter and the fiscal year financial statements news release issued earlier today. And with respect to non-GAAP financial measures related to the results of our consolidated subsidiary, Youdao, please visit the investor relations website of NetEase at ir.netease.com. As a reminder, this conference is being recorded. In addition, an investor presentation and a webcast replay of this conference call will also be available on NetEase IR website. Joining us today on the call from NetEase senior management is Mr. William Ding, our CEO, Mr. Charles Yang, Chief Financial Officer. I will now turn the call over to Charles, who will read the prepared remarks on behalf of William.
Thank you, Margaret, and thank you everyone for participating in today's call. Before we begin, I would like to remind everyone that all percentages are now based on renminbi. 2019 was an eventful year for NetEase. We expanded the reach of our online games, grew our international presence, IPO'd our online learning arm, Youdao, advanced our music platform, and refined our operations in e-commerce. For the full year, we grew our total net revenues by 16% to renminbi 59.2 billion and increased our GAAP net income from continuing operations attributable to our shareholders by 60% to renminbi 13.3 billion. Online games segment is the cornerstone of our business. Despite having launched fewer games throughout the year, we continued to grow our online games business at a healthy rate in 2019 with 16% year-over-year increase in net revenues. Driven by the steady performance of our long-standing titles, we once again exceeded renminbi 10 billion this quarter for the past 7 consecutive quarters. Our flagship titles continue to provide solid support for our online games business with increasing longevity and user loyalty. In 2019, revenues from Fantasy Westward Journey Online and Fantasy Westward Journey Mobile both grew at double-digit rate, remaining prevalent after years of operations. Westward Journey Online and its mobile version also grew steadily in 2019. After over 15 years of operation, our FWJ and WWJ franchises have been instilled in the collective memory of a generation of Chinese players. We further expanded the reach of these IPs through the introduction of FWJ 3D in mid-December last year, captivating both returning fans as well as new audience. As another iteration of the FWJ franchise in mobile, this 3D version game reserves the classic gameplay and social system while bringing brand new experiences to mobile users in a real-time 3D world. We are still working on new updates and expansion packs to further optimize the experience for FWJ 3D, and we are confident that over the long term, the 3D version will show similar longevity and popularity as our other titles in this franchise. In addition to growing and strengthening our existing franchise, we are also good at incubating new ones. Our corporate DNA in content innovation, marketing expertise, and long-term operations have allowed us to consistently deliver new and long-lasting game titles to our users. Onmyoji is the first of these relatively younger franchises that we have built in-house. We are pleased to see that as we introduce more innovative new storylines, new characters, and other new content, the influence of Onmyoji's IP is growing and resonating well with game players. In 2019, Onmyoji topped the iOS grossing chart 4 times, stabilizing at a new run rate after more than 3 years of operation. In December, we launched Onmyoji, the card game, its second spin-off game. Living up to expectations, the new Onmyoji card game carried on the tradition of impressing the market with its exquisite artwork. With this iteration, we also introduced more competitive and strategic gameplay, winning over a large group of hardcore collectible card players. We are now also currently working on several new Onmyoji games, including Onmyoji Yokai Koya, a simulation game, which we plan to launch in the first half of this year. Identity V is another young IP where we see the potential to be building to a successful NetEase franchise. With this goal in mind, we are continually enriching this IP through a variety of initiatives, including esports, IP collaborations, and offline activities. We have hosted a number of high-profile events featuring Identity V, including both international and regional series tournaments. Most notably, our global championship, Call of the Abyss, has attracted over 800,000 players from around the world since December. We also collaborated with Happy Valley, a popular national theme park brand in China, bringing some of the in-game characters to life. We are pleased to see the early success of Identity V as it becomes another powerful IP franchise, establishing a broad and vibrant community of young players in China and abroad. Invincible, our 2015 launch that has been growing steadily year over year in terms of the revenue and active users, is now one of China's biggest SLG titles. Like with many of our games, we invented a brand new in-game mechanism that resets gamers' scores every season, creating a much more balanced game experience and setting a new standard for the genre. Given the recently increasing popularity of SLGs in China, we are optimistic about our prospects and are working to bring more exciting content to the promising SLG category. The prerequisite to build a successful franchise is the ability to create popular game IPs in-house, which is propelled by our world-class R&D infrastructure. Over the past 2 decades, we have built one of the largest in-house R&D teams with China's most talented and passionate game creators, supported by one of the most unique and comprehensive R&D infrastructures in the world. We empower each of our talent with our game enthusiastic corporate culture and seconds-to-none training mechanism in the industry. Our training program at NetEase Games Academy are widely recognized in China as the premier online games training institution for the creative minds. Most recently, 2 of our training programs were awarded the 2019 APD Excellence in Practice Awards by the Association for Talent Development, one of the most authoritative international awards in the global talent development industry. As we move ahead, we will continue to foster talent and stimulate new ideas that propel the development of our games. 2019 is also a fruitful year for our licensed games, especially for our joint venture with Blizzard Entertainment. World of Warcraft Classic was launched in August as an inventive recreation of WoW 6, and it was very well received by a generation of returning players and newcomers alike. We are very pleased to see the continued popularity of WoW in China, achieving a record number of total monthly subscribers in the fourth quarter with increased revenue quarter over quarter. In 2019, we continued to advance our games and make inroads that expand our reach in overseas markets. Knives Out remained a household name in Japan, topping the iOS grossing chart multiple times during the year. Leveraging our knowledge of building game brands, we further strengthened Knives Out's brand presence by engaging in a series of successful collaborations and our first ever esports championship tournament in Japan. Identity V also exemplifies our ability to operate games in the overseas market over the long term, leading Japan's iOS topping chart for the first time in September. With the success of these titles, we have accumulated a better and deeper understanding of our users in terms of their interests, social behaviors, and preferences in style, aesthetics, and gameplay. We have integrated this successful experience and know-how into the design of our other games, enhancing our ability to deliver popular titles to Japanese users. In addition to our success in Japan, we've also expanded our footprint across more regions. In December, we launched Marvel Super War in several Southeast Asian markets, where it topped many of the iOS download charts. Building on our existing success at home and abroad, we have many exciting games in our pipeline, including Harry Potter Magic Awakened, EVE Echoes, Onmyoji Yokai Koya, Ghost World Chronicle, Revelation mobile game, Diablo Immortal, and Pokemon Quest. Turning to our online learning business, Youdao made solid progress in 2019, significantly growing its online course businesses. Youdao enhanced several course products, including high school Chinese and physics, practical English for adults, and coding courses for kids. We are also seeing excellent adoption and a rapid increase in sales of Youdao's intelligent learning devices, driven by the successful launch of our second-generation dictionary pen. We also expanded our tutoring and sales team and substantially improved our tutoring and operating systems to support them. These efforts have been rewarded by robust growth in gross billings of Youdao's online courses by 125% in 2019 and over 200% in the fourth quarter. More importantly, we have accumulated experience that we can replicate across our highly scalable online course model and are beginning to benefit from economies of scale. In 2020, NetEase will continue to support Youdao's mission to bring users more effective and technology-driven education experiences. Our cloud music revenue hit a record high in the fourth quarter, with membership revenue more than doubled year over year. Revenues from digital albums and live streaming also grew rapidly. Sales of digital albums have proven to be particularly effective on our platform. For example, sales from a 22-year-old Chinese pop star Wang Yibo's digital single No Sense exceeded renminbi 10 million within just 11 hours. Similarly, sales of Chinese singer-songwriter Hua Chenyu's digital single How I'd Like to Love This World exceeded renminbi 50 million after 45 days online, marking the highest digital single sales record online in China, according to a third-party data source. NetEase Cloud Music is home to a large number of independent musicians. More than 100,000 independent artists feature their music on our platform, and their songs were played back more than 270 billion times in the year. This makes NetEase Cloud Music the most recognized platform for original music by Chinese artists. In 2019, we plan to use the platform's distribution capability and its broad influence to create more viral content across the Chinese music industry. And finally, our focus with Yanxuan in 2019 remained on improving supply chain management and operating efficiency. We effectively reduced our inventory compared to a year ago and consistently improved our positive feedback rate from users in the quarter. We made adjustments to our pricing management, which resulted in increased revenue and better gross margins from the business. Our participation in product design has resulted in the creation of many hit products by providing valuable research and market analysis gained from the customer end to our manufacturers. At the same time, we have significantly improved our membership system and are seeing the benefits of increased member repurchase rate. As for our manufacturer and factory initiatives, we have helped to build tailored online data systems that have further improved their manufacturing process and quality. In 2020, we will continue to enhance our brand influence and reach in China by bringing even more high quality and personalized products to a growing number of consumers. We are excited for the new year. As our existing game titles continue to impress the market with their phenomenal longevity, 2020 will also see more game launches in China and globally from NetEase. 2020 also marks the 20th anniversary of NetEase being a publicly traded company. As an internet veteran in China, NetEase has remained relevant and continues to be a forerunner in the evolving market. With our long track record of success, our goal is to inspire our ever-growing community while bringing increasing value to each of our stakeholders. Before I pass the call over to Charles, I'd like to share some updates on the evolving situation with the coronavirus outbreak in China. Right after the corona outbreak, we reacted instantly and rolled out a series of initiatives to support the affected regions. We set up a special fund of renminbi 100 million. The fund will be used to purchase medical equipment and medicine from home and abroad and deliver to places where the outbreak is the most severe and help is most needed. At the same time, Yanxuan immediately delivered over 200,000 free masks and other protective supplies to our customers and set up special funds for the supplier partners. For Youdao, we were among the first ones in the industry to offer free courses to K-12 students in the affected areas, which was later expanded to other regions of China. For the college students, Chinese University MOOC connected with 800 universities, covering 4,000 professors' lectures. We also provide our technology support to help other offline educational institutions to move courses to online through Youdao Intelligent Cloud. Our company took every effort to protect the health and safety of our employees and adopted multiple measures to maintain our operation efficiency, such as flexible work policy and remote office collaboration using our proprietary technology. Overall, with respect to the outbreak, we currently expect to see some impact to our business lines in the near term. However, the situation is evolving. NetEase is committed to providing support to our employees, users, and communities, and working together as we together move through this challenging time. This now concludes William's comments. I will provide a brief overview and review of our fourth quarter and full year 2019 financial results. Given the limited time on the call, I will be only presenting some abbreviated financial highlights. We encourage you to read through our press release issued earlier today for further details. Total net revenue for 2019 were renminbi 59.2 billion, or $8.5 billion, representing 16% increase year-over-year. Net revenue for the fourth quarter came in at 15.7 billion renminbi, or $2.3 billion, representing a 9% increase year-over-year. For 2019, our net revenues from online game services grew 16% year-over-year to 46.4 billion renminbi, and in the fourth quarter, it was also up 5% year-over-year to 11.6 billion. Mobile games accounted for approximately 70% of net revenues from our online game services in the fourth quarter. For 2019, net revenues from Youdao were up 78% to renminbi 1.3 billion, and in the fourth quarter, net revenue from Youdao was up 78% to renminbi 410 million, primarily due to increased net revenues from its online courses and sales of the intelligent learning devices. For 2019, net revenues from innovative businesses and others were up 12% to reach 11.5 billion renminbi. In the fourth quarter, it was up 18% year-over-year to reach renminbi 3.7 billion, mainly due to the increased revenue contribution from cloud music and CC live streaming. Our gross margin was 52.2% in the fourth quarter. Gross margin for our online games remained relatively stable. It fluctuates quarter to quarter within a narrow bandwidth based on the revenue mix of mobile and PC, as well as self-developed and licensed games. Youdao's gross margin improved to 29.8% in the fourth quarter. This was primarily driven by the improvement of the sales and better economies of scale. Gross margin for innovative businesses and others was 20.6% in this quarter. Margin improvement both year-over-year and quarter-over-quarter was primarily due to the increased revenue from cloud music. For the fourth quarter, total operating expenses were renminbi 5.2 billion. Our selling and marketing expenses as a percentage of total revenue was 13.7% in this quarter. On a full year basis, selling and marketing expense as a percentage of full year net revenue was at 10.5% compared with 13.5% in 2018. R&D expenses were renminbi 2.3 billion, up 5% from the previous quarter. We remain committed to investing in content creation and product development, which is what defines us as a technology company. On a full year basis, R&D expenses represent 14.2% of full year's net revenue, comparing to 14.4% in 2018. The effective tax rate was 22% for Q4 and 18% for the full year 2019. The lower effective tax rate for the fourth quarter and for the full year compared to the 2018 period were mainly due to reduced losses from certain loss-making subsidiaries of the company. Non-GAAP net income from continuing operations attributable to our shareholders for the fourth quarter totaled renminbi 3.7 billion, or $526.1 million, representing a decrease of 23% quarter-over-quarter and an increase of 15% year-over-year. Our non-GAAP diluted earnings per ADS from continuing operations were renminbi 28.03, or $4.03 for the fourth quarter of 2019. Our cash position remains strong. As of December 31st, 2019, Our total cash and cash equivalent, current and non-current time deposits, and short-term investment balance totaled renminbi 74.4 billion, compared with 49.7 billion as of the year end of 2018. In accordance with our dividend policy, we are pleased to report that our board of directors have approved a dividend of $1.02 per ADS. On February 26, our board also announced and approved a new share repurchase program for up to $1 billion of our outstanding ADS for the next 12 months, beginning on March 2nd. Thank you for your attention. We would like now to open the call to your questions. Operator, let's go to Q&A, please.
Thank you. If you would like to ask a question, please signal by pressing star 1 on your telephone keypad. If you are using a speakerphone, please make sure your mute function is turned off to allow your signal to reach our equipment. For the benefit of all participants on today's call, if you would like to ask your questions to management in Chinese, please immediately repeat your question in English. Please ask one question per time. If you would like to ask more questions, please join the queue by pressing star 1 again. We'll pause for just a moment to allow everyone an opportunity to signal for questions. We will take our first question from the line of Alex Poon from Morgan Stanley. Your line is open. Go ahead.
谢谢管理层接受我的提问。首先先祝大家身体健康。我一个问题是关于音乐这个板块。今年腾讯音乐的独家协议跟三大有可能会结束，请问这个如果真的结束的话，这个对整个中国的音乐市场和最重要对网易今年的这个成本的结构和未来的发展的方向和这个收入这个付费用户的增速会有一个什么的影响？未来2-3年。我第二个问题想问一下，现在因为考拉是亏损比较大的，已经卖掉了，所以现在音乐已经是足够的融资，然后其他都是继续减亏。margin 也会继续提升，现金流也是很好，balance sheet 很强。未来这个 balance sheet 现金流会有一个什么的计划呢？I'll translate my questions. First is regarding music. So we are hearing the master agreements between Tencent Music and the top 3 labels are ending this year and next year. And how will this change the competition landscape, revenue growth, and cost structure of NetEase Cloud Music in the next 2 years? And my second question is regarding the overall company. Kaola has been loss-making, but it has been sold, and music already raised enough funds, and the overall company margin is improving. So what's the thoughts on balance sheet cash flow in the next 2-3 years? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex. 好，老板您回答第一个问题吧。好。
对，三大唱片公司过去几年在中国这种独家的销售模式，使中国的音乐的运营商不仅仅是网易，也包括像华为小米、OPPO、vivo 等这些需要购买音乐版权的公司，付出了超越合理价钱2到3倍以上的这个成本这不公平的、不合理的那我们希望在未来能够回归一个合理理性的这个版权这个费用，包括国家版权部门也提倡，国家版权局也提倡，这些唱片公司不应该以独家的形式在中国继续这个授权也是国家所倡导的。 我们也希望未来除了三大唱片公司以外，其他的日本、韩国，还有港台等这些唱片商，也能遵守国家版权部门制定的非独家授权的这个模式，让版权的续约回归合理的性，让我们有更多的资源去扶持和发展中国的原创音乐。中国的原创音乐需要我们这些平台去更大力度的支持和发展。所以我想在未来，一方面对我们自身来说是可以降低成本，对行业来说可以使我们有更多的资源去扶持中国原创音乐的华语原创音乐的发展，这是我们的这个企业的这个目标也是我们做云音乐的当初的理想所以这是我的一个结论。对行业是个好事，但现在并不是所有的唱片商都能做到这一点，所以我们里面的运营商付出了额外的2到3倍的成本。OK， 你帮我翻译一下。
好的，Okay, thank you, Alex. For your first question, let me provide a brief translation of William's response. So firstly, label companies' exclusivity arrangement in the past years has hurt China's overall online music industry and affects all sorts of players along the value chain, not only just the platform like us, but also app stores, hardware manufacturers, upstream and downstream players along the chain. We hope that all label companies, not just the big three, going forward, can all comply with the regulatory framework set in China with an aim to provide a healthy environment to the overall industry as a whole. Financially, it's definitely going to make the cost structure of the cloud music of the whole industry to return to a more healthy and normalized level, because in the past the whole industry has been overpaying the content cost twice, 3 times or even more to the label companies in this unfair setup. Once the cost structure can normalize, then players like NetEase Cloud Music can focus more resources in promoting innovative music content and encourage native Chinese musicians with our mission to create a vibrant, healthy, and successful music culture and community in China. So that's the response to your first question. On your second question on the cash, so first of all, let me make a comment that with a conscious effort of being more focused on our core businesses, starting from the end of 2018, and you see a series of fruitful actions throughout 2019, we are benefiting from the economies of scale. As a result, our balance sheet has been growing strong. Our cash position has been very, very strong. Along the way, we've been also very disciplined in paying dividends, increase the dividend payout ratio, and have a regular stock buyback programs. All in all, we've acted in a responsible way to our shareholders. And especially in a relatively more volatile market, we think by having a strong cash flow position together with a disciplined and responsible treasury policy to our shareholders, that will make NetEase an even stronger and more defensive company throughout this macro turmoil. Operator, next question, please.
We'll take our next question from Human Chan from Citigroup.
Hello, William. Hello William、Charles and Margaret 谢谢接受我的提问，谢谢网易公司在这个疫情里面付出的努力去帮助需要的人和单位，也希望大家保重身体。那我第一个问题就想问一下这个疫情对于我们不同的业务线的这个影响，正面的还有负面的影响，然后你觉得这个会持续到这个什么的时候？然后第二个问题是关于我们海外游戏的业务，就想问一下我们这个时间表，针对几个比较重磅的一个 IP， 那个 Diablo、Immortal 还有一些 Marvel 系的 Harry Potter 等等谢谢，然后很快翻译一下吧。So my first question is on the coronavirus impact on our various business lines, positive and negative, and how long the impact would last in our point of view. And my second question is on the overseas game expansion. Could management update on the timeline with the major IPs like Diablo, Marvel, and Harry Potter? Thank you very much.
疫情给很多行业带来了负面的影响，其实对我们也有影响，确切的说，让我们这个在一起上班变得更加困难，因为大家还在家里工作，提高了这个沟通的成本。第二个呢，就是对广告业务是会有这个影响的对广告业务是有影响。那当然也其他的像在线教育和游戏也反映出一些这个对受疫情干扰比较小的这个情景这个越来越多的人开始选择在家里这个上网课通过互联网来这个上课那么这个是一个疫情对我们业务的这个影响。那第二点就是关于今年一些出海的游戏你提到的我们对出海这件事情非常非常重视在过去的2年时间里面，我们在海外的市场也小有收获，尤其在日本市场上，我们的3个游戏那个《荒野行动》、《第5人格》和那个《三国》三国这个取得了不错的成绩，但这仅仅是日本我们希望能够让欧美的市场的用户也能体验到我们网易这家公司优秀的作品所以我们做了非常充分的准备，在今年和明年去进入这2个市场前面几年我们对这2个市场是交了很多的学费也做了很多的学习我相信今年和明年会是收获的一年，应该是。谢谢。
好，谢谢老板。Okay, thank you, Hillman. Let me provide a brief translation for your 2 questions. First question on the coronavirus impact to our different business lines. Firstly, William commented that the situation definitely affects the economy as a whole. It also affects us, different BUs to different extent. In particular, advertising segment will be more affected by the situation, whereas our online games and online education businesses are relatively less impacted by the situation for now, especially for online education, given the physical restrictions of people going out and moving around. It helps to raise the awareness and the adoption rate of online education, which propels the trend of the growth of this new format of learning. For your second question on our general strategy and pipeline about overseas games, but firstly, William commented that we are very serious and very focused on overseas expansion as a major business strategy of our games BU. We've achieved first step achievement in Japan with a couple of games that's been well established, and we are hoping to further leverage this experience and expanding to mainstream Western market by bringing more high quality products to the users in those geographies. In the past couple of years, we've been consciously moving up the learning curves, and we think we are more prepared, more ready to reap some fruits in this year and in the coming 2-3 years. Operator, next question, please.
Be informed that you are only allowed to ask one question per time. If you would like to ask more questions, please join the queue by pressing star 1 again. We will take our next question from the line of Alex Yao from JP Morgan. Your line is open. Please go ahead.
谢谢管理层，我想再进一步问一下关于疫情的这个影响，就是在我们游戏这边两个方面一个就是从我们游戏玩家的数量整体运营的情况上来讲，疫情是不是总体来言对于游戏的业务和收入是正面的？然后另外一面呢，是从我们游戏研发的这个角度来讲咱们刚才也谈了，因为疫情的这个影响，很多员工可能需要在家办公，让沟通的这个效率这个更低一点。那这个会不会让我们这个研发的进度有所这个延缓对今年的这个新游戏的发布会不会有潜在的影响谢谢我自己翻译一下。So I would like to follow up with a question regarding the impact from the coronavirus breakout on the gaming side of the business. So from consumers' perspective, are you guys seeing increasing usage and a better monetization during the coronavirus breakouts? And then secondly, from content development perspective, is the current situation making internal content development more difficult? Would that potentially affect the new game launch in China this year? Thank you.
对，第一个就是说对那个用户的影响，本来其实春节也是我们游戏非常重要的这个季节即便没有疫情，其实春节期间很多人在家里也是会这个玩游戏的实事求是。所以我们现在看来就是说会比过往春节稍微好一点会比过往的春节好一点。那第二件第二个事情呢，像网课网上上课这一件事情呢的确我们是一直认为这个网上教育的质量是明显要比线下体验来的更加好的，因为好的老师这个在线下你很难找嘛，线上就很容易找到所以那个教育的影响是比较正面的我相信这也是好事这个通过这次疫情扩大了每一个想学习的同学和朋友的每一位想学习的学习者的这个视野发现互联网上课也是不那么的累，而且更加轻松，而且老师更加讲的东西更加让你容易理解那第三个你提到的是说对我们的游戏的发布的时间表会不会有影响？
对，关于 R&D 的进
从目前看来我们不会时间表上没有明显的影响没有影响这个影响或者说不大或者说不大它还有一个什么 R&D 的什么
就是关于这个就是研发会不会影响我们后续游戏的开发以及就是发布的时间表，就是刚刚老板回答了
不会影响好吧，这个目前看来是没有影响
好的行Thank you, Alex. I'll provide a brief translation for everyone's benefit on the call. So in terms of the user metrics, William commented that Chinese New Year period is always a high season for online entertainment as a whole for our games. This New Year period is obviously being affected by the coronavirus situation. So it is a longer Chinese New Year period. User metrics has been stronger than the previous similar quarters in Chinese New Year. And for your question on the R&D impact, for now we do not see any significant delays or impacts to our R&D development progress, as well as the planned pipeline launch schedule. Obviously, the virus situation is evolving, and we will continually to assess the impact on the game development, if any. And William also further supplemented the question, the virus impact on the online learnings. In particular, we are a firm believer that online learning actually offers a better user experience overall vis-a-vis the traditional offline learning. I think with the virus situation, more and more people are now more receptive and adapted to the online learning model. And for a lot of learners, it is also an opportunity for them to be more outreaching to a more variety of knowledge that is only available and offered in a convenient way online. So all in all, we think this virus situation is probably a catalyst to propel the overall online learning industry as a whole. Operator, next question, please.
We will take our next question from the line of Natalie Wu from CICC. The line is open.
早上好，谢谢接受我的问题，希望大家都身体健康。那我的问题呢是关于云音乐的，就咱去年看到推了一些云音乐之类云音乐相关的新的功能，比如说云村同时呢对云音乐的这个直播功能呢也有一个加强，但从 QuestMobile 上面来看的话，平均每用户的一个单日时长在去年下半年呈现出了一个明显的下滑，不知道这个是什么一个原因，还是说就是 QuestMobile 追的数不是特别对。另外呢，能不能请丁总给我们 update 一下有关于这个云村这个功能给到云音乐带来的一个作用，以及今年我们有什么可以期待的一个新的功能。我自己I will translate myself quite briefly. My question is regarding the cloud music. Just wondering, despite that you launched several features last year, including the cloud village. Also, you emphasized on the live broadcasting features on the cloud music app. But according to QuestMobile, the daily time spent per user dropped by around 20% in the second half of last year. Just wondering what's the reasons behind, or it's just simply because the QuestMobile data is not acting right. Also, can you give us some color on the cloud village features contribution for the cloud music, and also what kind of the new features we should be anticipating this year? Thank you.
好老板，那个就是他的 Natalie 的问题有两部分，那个关于 QuestMobile
我想说那个 QuestMobile 上什么下滑？什么下滑？
对，那个数据的话，
您说什么？
平均每用户的单日时长。
从多少下滑到多少？
之前一直稳定在30分钟左右吧，然后到去年下半年就一直滑到了23、24分钟，但不知道是不是因为第三方的数据机构他们 check 的不是特别准，想了解。
那我们听音乐的时间没有下滑。
对，这个的话是，对，这个 Natalie 外部的第三方的数据向来只是一个预估，其实并不是准确的，这个我等一下可以稍微详细回答一下，或者老板您回答一下他问的关于云村 对我们整体的一个作用，或者我们今年有没有一些新的业务模式，音乐上面的这些功能？
对我们来说，就是从上到下围绕着音乐这件事情衍生出去，从听到看到互动就听看互动，把所有喜欢音乐的粉丝聚集在一个音乐的平台上，这是一个平台的价值。那么对公司来说，我们最重要的一件事情，我们能够希望推动中国原创音乐的发展能够产生更多优质的原创的音乐内容在网易这个平台上包括我们去发掘发展这些非常优秀的独立的音乐人这是我们未来最重要的一件事情。
好的。Thank you, Natalie, for your question. Let me briefly translate William's comment. So, Cloud Village, as well as the other features such as live streaming, etc. This is overall, our way of thinking how, as a music platform, we can enhance value add to our users. Most of them are very vibrant music enthusiasts. We want to provide an integrated experience, not only just listening, but from listening to also spending more time watching the screens as well as interactions. So many of the initiatives and the strategies are around of building a more vibrant community on our NetEase Cloud Music platform. But the mission, the mission of us tapping into the online music segment is really to provide the most conducive channel of promoting native songs, native IPs for the Chinese independent musician artists. With regard to your second part of the question on the Quest mobile data, again, I think you are referring to the average daily user time spent on the app. Again, we do not know how external third-party data channels track these numbers, but based on what we are seeing in the second half, there's no decline in the user activity and the user time spent on our platform as a whole. So that's probably something you can further verify and double check with the external channel. Operator, next question, please.
We will take our next question from the line of Shi Jiarong from Nomura. The line is open. Please go ahead.
Hi, good morning, William, Charles, and Margaret. Thanks for taking my question. 早上好，谢谢接受我的提问。然后的话，我也是想问一下，就是我们海外的游戏拓展这方面的问题，就是之前William 也提到说，今年是我们的海外市场可能会是一个丰收年。那我想问一下，就是截止到现在的话，海外的市场贡献了我们网易的手游的百分比大概是多少？然后您觉得未来就是百分比大概能够上升到多少？这是我的第一个问题。然后第二个问题就是关于国内的游戏市场监管的问题。然后我们看到去年的时候，整个中国游戏监管相对来说还是比较严的。然后有几个月，政府部门都没有批准新的游戏。所以想问一下，就是您怎么看今年中国的游戏市场监管的方向，是会更松还是会更严一些？我自己翻译一下。I have two questions. My first question is a follow-up on the overseas expansion. I just wondering how much of NetEase mobile gaming revenue is currently generated from overseas market. And management mentioned earlier on the call this year will be a harvest year for NetEase online gaming business in the overseas market. So I just wonder what is the growth potential for the revenue contribution from from the overseas game market going forward? My second question is about regulation. I just wonder how management think of the regulatory environment this year for China's online gaming industry. Last year, the authorities suspended new game approvals for a certain number of months. So I just wonder what management think of the regulatory trends this year for China's game market. Thank you.
对，那个游戏占市场多少？那个 Charles 你来回答。
对，那个我来回答，老板您或者就回答一下关于国内监管环境及版号的那个问题吧。第一个部分我可以来回答。
因为我们在这个过去这个春节期也看到，那个苹果平台上那个新发布的游戏也需要版号，那我们认为这是一个比较好的规范市场信号。先前苹果这个平台上有不少中国发行的游戏是没有版号的，是没有版号的。那还有一个就是从去年年底今年开始，国家也加大了对侵权的就知识产权保护的这个力度，加大了这个知识保护产权的力度，也加大了对侵权的行为的这个打击啊。那这个对规范整个市场都是非常好的，尤其对网易这样这个 in-house develop 的这个非常注重知识产权的公司都是一个好消息啊。那我们在国内有上万名几十个工作室的原创的游戏的研发团队这个我们是有信心在这个规范的市场里面运作的这个更好所以这是我的一个基本的一个观点。那第二个就是我还是要强调，就是我们不停的跟国际上的优秀的开发者团队加大合作希望能够生产出优质的开发出优质的作品来强强联合创造这个新的这个作品的奇迹OK 你帮我翻译一下。
Okay, thank you, Jialong, for your questions. Let me provide a brief translation and further supplement to some of the number-related answers. Firstly, William commented that I think as all of us have noticed that over the Chinese New Year period, Apple iOS App Store has also implemented more stringent requirements requiring developers who upload their content onto Apple iOS Store would need to provide evidence of approvals, which is in line with the regulators' more emphasis and regulation on IP protection. In a way, we think that this is going to be more beneficial to first-tier players, big players like NetEase. We have over 50 game studios, over 10,000 in-house developers working in a very compliant way of creating premium content. So when the whole environment, whether it's the iOS App Store, whether it's the regulators that's putting more emphasis in protecting IP and also encouraging regulated content to only regulated content to be uploaded and also having more punishment on the IP violations, that is longer term beneficial for the whole industry, in particular towards upstream content providers. On top of our emphasis on in-house development, we are also putting more focus on collaborating with global developers, joining hands, strong hands together, hopefully in making a joint effort to provide some exciting content to the global audience. That naturally brings to your first part of the question. For 2019, on a full year basis, this is the very first time that NetEase overseas game revenue has accounted for more than 10% of the overall game revenue. First time in NetEase history, as bringing us closer to a global premium game operator. Like William commented earlier on, I think this year and the next couple of years, we are going to see more fruit. We are going to bear more fruit in our international expansion. Operator?
Thank you for the talk.
Due to time limit, that concludes today's question and answer sessions. At this time, I will turn the conference back to Margaret Shi for any additional or closing remarks.
Okay.
Thank you once again for joining us today. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us directly or TPG Investor Relations. Have a great day.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
That concludes today's conference. Thank you everyone for your participation. You may now disconnect.